This is a very big concern. We were hoping that the sugar industry will at least get an allocation of 450 crore litre. But unfortunately, the allocation has been brought down to 289 crore litre, which only amounts to a diversion of 34 lakh tons, while we were hoping that at least we'll be able to divert 45 to 50 lakh tons in order to maintain a balance between sugar and ethanol. But unfortunately, this has happened, and I believe the government is aware of this anomaly and will definitely do a course correction, because sugar industry has been a backbone of the ethanol blending program. We have put a huge capacity of almost 900 crore litre with an investment of 40,000 crore on the basis of the support and conducive policies of the government. So our request to government is to correct this anomaly and allocate at least 50% of the allocation to the sugar industry and maintain a balance between grain and sugar feedstock. I mean, we believe there will be a cycle 2 tender which will be coming eventually, and we are hoping and we are requesting that at least 75% of the allocation in the cycle 2 could be given to the sugar feedstock to at least regain the balance which is required by the industry. If the allocation remains very low, that means we will be producing too much of sugar, because we are expecting a very good production of sugar in 25-26. So if we have too much of sugar in the country and the domestic consumption remains almost stagnated at 284 to 85 lakh tons in this year, and with a lower allocation, there will be too much of sugar, which will put a lot of downward pressure on the domestic prices. And if we don't realize a proper domestic price, then eventually it affects our capacity to pay the cane farmers on time. So this is a very big problem, and we are hoping that the government will be able to correct this problem. Definitely, there are two aspects. One is the exports. As I just mentioned, at least 20 lakh tons of exports could be allowed. The permission could be given early so that the mills could plan their raw sugar production and also white sugar. There could be a window of opportunity from December to March where the world could accept Indian sugar. Right now, the international prices are also very low, but we are hoping that we will have a window. So early announcement of export of 20 lakh tons could help the industry. On top of it, the MSP, which is the minimum support price of sugar, which has not been revised since 2019 and still stagnated at 31 rupees a kilo, have to be revised to keep into account the cost of production. And this is already a part of Sugar Control Order 2025. At least MSP of 40 rupees, which is the cost of production, will at least keep the domestic prices stable and maintain the economic viability of the sugar mills, so that we pay to the farmer on time. Obviously, when government planned for E20, they estimated 55% of the share of sugar feedstock. But during the course of time, too much of capacities have come up, also in the grain sector. I believe there should have been a roadmap of going beyond E20 and plan for enhanced demand and consumption of ethanol. I think that is where I believe it is required that the government plans its roadmap beyond E20, whether to increase the blending from E20, 22, 25, 27, and also have the E100 fuel with the support for launching of flexi fuel and smart hybrid, so that we can enhance the average blending and at least consume the ethanol where we have the capacity increased. Absolutely. As I said, sugar is perhaps the backbone. This is an assured feedstock for the ethanol blending program. So I believe at least 50% of the allocation should be necessarily reserved for the sugar feedstock, so that we have an assured offtake of our ethanol from the sugar feedstock.